song. And that's why this month's song, It's So Fun, was ever even born. Wait. Let me explain, Lucy. I had been, for some time, having these compulsive arguments with myself over and over again in my head. If I didn't find myself assigned to some specific task that I needed to accomplish, I would suddenly catch myself having these arguments with the same person, continually defending myself against any wrongdoing on my part. See, I'd been in a relationship with someone for a long time who was always getting mad at me for stuff, always blaming me for stuff, always making me feel like I was doing something wrong.
Aww.
I can't tell you how many times in the course of that relationship, after passionately arguing back and forth, I would throw my arms up in the air and say, I'm not doing anything wrong. And then eventually, I found myself, more than a year after that relationship had ended, still hearing the constant accusations in my head and still preparing my rebuttals for defense. I was still arguing with that person, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, being angry and defensive over and over and over and over again. Ooh, it's so fun.
It's so fun.
With a person that wasn't even there.
What?
Don't even try and act like you don't argue with non-existent people in your head. Needless to say, having this compulsion loop over and over and over again was starting to make me feel batshit crazy. And starting to exhaust me. Constantly arguing with people, even if they don't even exist anymore, is still very exhausting. And because I was feeling so angry at this person, well, that's exhausting also.
Uh-oh.
I was blaming this person. I admit it, I was blaming the other party. Blame game. I was playing the blame game, as my dad calls it. What's up, Dad? Because we've known each other for a long time. So, for a long time, I'd spent the better part of my days constantly having to defend my honor, constantly having to defend myself against someone who was constantly making me feel like I'd done something wrong, even though I hadn't. Yeah, I don't think I did. God. And then, of course, this individual would be constantly defending themselves against me because I was constantly pissed off at them for constantly being pissed off at me. This is starting to get confusing. I don't even know. I was just like,
You bitch.
you made me defend myself for so long that now I can't get this defend myself software program out of my brain computer. Seriously, it was pure insanity. I was trying a bunch of stuff to make it stop, but it just kept happening. I was still arguing with this person, and it seemed like nothing was working. So I started looking into how to energetically sever cords from people that you're energetically still attached to. And I was reading about people who talk about removing energetic implants and shit. And I even contacted this chick who teaches how to remove energetic implants for $300. And I felt so crazy. I was ready to be like, dude, here's my $300. I don't even care if you're a crackpot. Just try something.
Somebody do something!
And I was going on one of my daily walks. It was actually late at night, and I decided I was gonna go on the entire walk without having any argument with anybody in my head. In fact, I wasn't gonna think anything at all on this entire walk. Jessica, quit talking to yourself like that worked. I was actually seriously feeling desperately out of control of my own mind. Like I was a hostage inside of it.
Somebody get me out of here! Somebody
and like I was a hostage inside of this feeling of defensiveness, of feeling guilty. What was I trying to prove anyway? By constantly having these arguments with myself in my brain, that I could defeat myself on a debate team? No, I'm right. No, I'm right. No, I win. No, I win. I win. So I was on this walk, and I was saying to whoever it is that can hear us whenever we call out, please, help me. Please help me to get rid of this. Please help me to get this person out of my space and get these thoughts out of my head. And wouldn't you know it,
What?
I suddenly saw this kind of vision. No, not like that. Not like words, like an actual vision.
Oh.
The vision just gently emerged in my mind, and I could see, clear as day, me, as a child,
Well, I'm not a crook.
defending myself all the time. Because I was always getting in trouble for something and being ridiculed and told I was doing something bad. And the vision fast forward to my teenage years, when I was constantly being singled out by the authority figures and getting in trouble for shit all the time, whether or not it had anything to do with me. They even literally kicked me out because of some graffiti on the gym wall that I got blamed for. And I was like defending myself. I don't even know how to graffiti.
Huh?
Can I say it that way? Can I say I don't know how to graffiti? Can that word be used as a verb?
That's correct. Graffiti is both a noun and a verb. Over.
Fast forward another few years, and I could see myself defending myself to various bosses, even though I was doing my job right. And then eventually fast forward to lovers who didn't approve of me, or the way I behaved, or how I thought, all throughout my life. Always defending myself. And most of the time when I hadn't even done anything wrong. Most of the time. But you know what I mean? I'm not a bad person. I'm not malicious or vindictive. I don't go out of my way to hurt people. It doesn't mean that that doesn't happen sometimes accidentally.
Aww.
But on the contrary, I go out of my way to make people feel happy if I can. And I honestly think that's the case for most of us. Well, maybe not those other guys. You know. The shape-shifting reptilians, yo! But I think we all kind of walk around with these guilty consciences, defending ourselves all the time, even to people in our head.
That aren't even there.
Why do we do that? Which brings me back to this whole person I hadn't spoken to in over a year, but with whom I was still arguing in my head. See, I had been blaming that person for making me that way. For making me feel like I constantly had to be in a position of defending myself all the time. But the universe showed me in that series of life memory flash vision thingies that I'd always been that way. Ah, dang it. That for my whole life, I'd been running a defensive, guilty conscience software program. Being raised Catholic probably helped to install that program. But I think it's a pretty prolific program in the Matrix. And I had totally convinced myself that my feelings and sense of defensiveness and guilt was somebody else's fault. And if and when you realize you're doing that, it'll make you feel like a jackass.
Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Yeehaw!
It's amazing how you can be so darn convinced about something, and then the universe will take your head and tilt it by just a fraction of a degree. You're like,
Whoa, Nelly.
not like negative Nelly, like a different kind of Nelly.
Look out, here she comes, it's negative Nelly.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to be in this stupid episode anyway. So I'm like, okay, that's great, Prime Creator, thank you. So you're showing me this isn't just a relationship problem. Apparently, I'm staring down the nose of a lifelong, chronic, little bit of insanity that has been creating this undercurrent of defensiveness and guilt throughout my entire days. Yay! So I'm still walking, right? I'm still on this late night walk. And I'm like, okay, Great Spirit, then what shall I do with this plague upon me?
Oh, Great Spirit, then what shall I do with this plague upon me?
And then the answer came. It came in the form of 3 data streams, swoosh, swoosh, swooshes. For those of you who use the internet, you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, man, you need to look that up on the internet.
For those of you who don't use the internet to get your answers, the internet doesn't give you answers like blah, 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 blah. I'll talk for like an hour and then maybe eventually at some point you might possibly understand what I'm saying. Eventually, maybe. It's more like whoosh, okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. And I did get it in less than a second. The first data stream download came through and reminded me of something I'd read once in a book called The Course in Miracles that says, if I defend myself, I am attacked. It made me realize that in constantly defending myself, whether in my head or out loud, that I'd been constantly validating that I was guilty of something, or that there was something out there that I constantly needed to defend myself against. So basically, arguing that I'm innocent all the time is a great way to make myself feel guilty. Ain't that a hullabaloo? The second data stream flash swoosh bit of information answer from the internet was showing me a teacher I had been working with who was always reminding the class to stay in amusement. In other words, keep your sense of humor about you. Yeah, pretty much. And the third download stream answer flash swooshy swoosh thing was this month's song. It's so fun.
But it's so fun.
I had written this song years and years prior to the dark, cold night of which I speak when I was walking around praying to be set free from my crazy brain.
Please help me get out of here! I'm trapped! Somebody help me get out!
Written it years and years prior to that night. But there it was, playing in my head as an answer to my own question. And I knew exactly why the universe was using my own song against me. I'm just kidding. The universe will never use anything against you. If you get download icky swoosh swoosh things that make you feel bad or yucky, just delete that shit. But the universe sent me my own song to make a point, because at the time that I wrote this song, I was in another relationship with another individual who was also a real stick in the mud. Yeah? Remember that? Yeah, worse than that, even worse than that. And in that relationship, I was also getting constantly lectured for how I should be living and how I should be behaving and what I should be doing. Sound familiar? I'm not claiming sainthood here, all right? The point is that sort of dynamic is no bueno. And that's ultimately why I walked away from that relationship, but I never felt bitter about it. I never felt like I had been harmed by that relationship. Not in any way, because even though I was always being attacked, even in those conditions, I always stayed in amusement about it. And I wrote this song, It's So Fun,
But it's so fun.
from that space of amusement. And that place of amusement can be one of the most powerful defense mechanisms in all of existence. When someone or something is attacking you in any old which way, especially sticks in the mud. Of course, if somebody's attacking you because they're trying to kill you, by all means, get them first. But you know, just try and stay in a place of amusement about it.
I killed you first. Now isn't that funny?
You know what I mean? Anybody walking around all the time being like, you need to do this, and you're not doing that good enough.
Oh my God. You're so not doing it right.
Yeah, those people. If they want to keep coming at you for not being perfect like they are, to hell with them. Literally. Because you know what? Anybody walking around like that is already in hell. And you know who put them there? Well, okay, probably the shape-shifting reptilians. But shape-shifting reptilians cannot keep them in hell.
Yeah, man. Nobody has to stay in hell, man. Climb on out of there, man.
The internet was kind enough to provide me with the information that showed me that my greatest defense is no defense.
Oh.
And then I can pop myself up out of hell any old time I want to by remembering to laugh and have a good time with myself and with all the other humans and all of our ridiculous imperfections.
You're stupid. No, you're stupid. I am stupid. Me too.
And it also reminded me that I may be in trouble sometimes,
I may be in trouble,
but it's so fun.
but it's so fun.
Usually. Sometimes it doesn't seem that way. Stay in amusement. Stay in amusement. Stay. Stay in amusement. Stay. Stay.
And I may be in trouble sometimes, but it's so fun. And I may always want to cross the line, but it's so fun.
Thanks for coming this week on me and my song. Come on back next week as I sing for you the song I just told you all about in the Raw Reveal. Just so you know, I keep doing this because I know it makes you smile and sometimes even laugh, and because I know that music heals. I know that. And I'm gonna keep on doing it no matter what.
Yes.
But also, just so you know, it is really hard work and it does cost a lot of money, and I don't get vacation days. So if you feel so inclined to be a donator, please do so. I won't stop you, really. Come on, feel free. You could donate just one time, like throw in a tip in my tip jar, or you could donate whatever amount you want every month. Just like, cha-ching, just throw me a little chump change every month. I just said chump change, like I'm a chump or something. If you become a monthly donator, you get special perks, like free music downloads, extra videos, and a cool shirt like this, because having money on planet Earth always gets you special perks. But this is a 100% guilt-free request. I do this hoping to make you feel good, so don't feel bad if you can't cough up the dough. Shoot, I'm just glad you're here, because otherwise I'd be all alone. Well, you know what I mean. This is Jessica Leia signing off. Thanks for coming. Come on back next week. I will be here for you. And also, if you could just do me a favor and remember, keep singing your song.
Me and my song.